We are live.
Hey,
We're
Jeff, how's
raw.
it going today?
Going
Hey,
well.
we're live, we're raw, we're revenue marketing. One
We're
day
revenue
we'll have
marketing.
a standard opening, but hell, who cares when that
Yeah,
happens, right?
we talked about having a music track and
No, I don't
dancers
want
and
none of that
lights
shit.
and,
I
but
don't
we're
have
like,
time for
yeah,
any
fuck
of
that.
that. No,
Yeah.
let's just get in here and be raw and talk about what we want to talk about,
I
which
think we're not-
today we're going to talk about marketing operations and what effect AI is having on marketing operations. And Jeff, there are so many angles that we can take on this. I mean, we can come at it from like 1,001 different directions. But I want to start with a statement. And that statement is, it's time for marketing ops to get off your ass and be strategic. Now, how long have we been saying this, Jeff?
Oh, 19 years.
Yeah, a really long time. Well, AI is now becoming the forcing function from marketing ops to stand up and take their place at the table. So I just want to kind of begin with that. And as we take a look at our beautiful, wonderful world of marketing ops, what kind of impacts are we seeing from AI, Jeff?
I think let's just start off with what should be the obvious, but maybe isn't. Like, it's the execution that goes away. MOPS is perennially understaffed. You're supporting multiple technology systems, processes, documentations, project management, and you're spending all your time reacting and executing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now AI can do all that, but that doesn't mean that your job goes away. The job changes to governance, right?
It changed to a lot of things, but let's dig into that execution, because when we think about not in marketing ops, the other parts of marketing, we can clearly see the execution layers going away. Let's talk more specifically about the execution layers.
Yeah, let's just talk
going away.
CRM or marketing automation administration or one of the various platforms.
Nobody's going to have to administer the platforms anymore.
It's not that you don't have to administer them. The concept of how you do it, Deb, is what's changing, right?
Okay.
So, yes, of course. Look, the platforms, as good as AI is, at least not yet, it's not running itself. It's
not yet.
And so okay, I've got to update fields, integrations, clean my data, run reports, add new users, build new workflows, execute campaigns, run segmentation, update processes, handle ticket volume. And these are things that MOPS is involved in one aspect or another. So how you administer, though, is changing, because
so all of those things that you just listed off are all things that in part become part of that execution layer that is now being done by AI.
Correct. But when we talk about strategic, Deb, first off, even now, you don't even have to log into these apps anymore to administer. And you could do things at light speed. Like, we're doing this for ourselves and our clients. Hey, go in and all my email contacts that are bounced or hard, purge them or move them to the non-marketing contacts list. IBM's a client of mine. Go look up and add all the VPs of for marketing and sales and add them into whatever system. Done.
Yep.
Right. So that previously, just that one little, let's just take that one little example. Okay, I'd have to log into 2 or 3 different systems, Deb, to do what I just said. The cleanup, sure. I mean, I have to go into my marketing automation and purge the records, and I got to go check in CRM to see if it's synced. Then I got to go to Zoom or Apollo or Clay or whatever platform I'm using. I got to go look up those names, and I have to export a list, and I have to import them back in. So all that stuff just goes away with AI. It doesn't go away like it's happening. It's just happening at the speed of that.
And it's happening all the time, constantly, right? It's perpetual.
Their jobs, they're running.
The jobs, they're in constant running. And so, I mean, I think those are just great examples. So we know that within the marketing organization, there's a lot of fear around AI taking jobs. And I think there's a lot of fear, especially around content creators and demand generation folks. But I also think it's true on the MarOps team, even though they're understaffed. How open do you think marketing ops is to kind of reinventing what MarOps is, could, and should be in this new world of AI?
Well, I think like all things, Deb, you're always going to see it vary per client. We definitely see our colleagues and some of the companies and people we know, they're way out ahead, they're racing
Mhm,
forward. And you have some that still have their head in the and and think that AI is going to be a fad that goes away.
mhm,
That
mhm, mhm.
everyone falls somewhere, you
Yep,
know,
yep, 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 yep. Okay.
but it's happening whether they like it or not.
Mhm.
I do think, look, it's unfortunate. We're seeing the knee-jerk reaction of many companies. Let's get rid of jobs because AI can do it
Right.
more efficiently. And we've talked about that, but that's only going to get you so far. You can only
That's
cut so
right.
far.
That's right.
Fine, great. You got rid of all the jobs you can get rid of. Now what? Now, okay,
Right.
now you got to get back to
Right.
scaling. And so there might be some short-term pain, yes, where some of these MOPS jobs go away, but then there's going to be the reality as it changes. So for example, today, MOPS administers usually multiple systems and processes or is managing that in governance. Tomorrow, you're going to be managing that function, but you're going to be managing it as teams of agents, right? So
Mhm.
you might be responsible for 205,000 agents that are running across the
That's
company.
that's
So
a great way. Yep.
you're think of yourself as an air traffic controller almost.
Yeah.
You still need to have the requisite knowledge when something breaks, because it will,
Mhm,
or there's hallucination or things are not
mhm.
working. You have to be able to go into the various systems and troubleshoot and figure this
That's
out
right. That's right.
and interact with AI to train it. It's just you get so much time back. Today, you're running around like a chicken with your head cut off trying to do all this stuff.
Right.
AI is doing the doing, and you're doing the thinking. You're
Right.
able to say, okay, so
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
else can I be doing? What insights can I generate?
Right. And I love this idea that the new team member and marketing operations are the agents, right? The worker bees of AI that are constantly working the job, whatever the job is. I think that's a really good way to put it. And and as we're kind of talking about this, it also seems to me that marketing ops more than ever before is really becoming the operating system, the central nervous system for marketing. For example, it used to be marketing would say, okay, here's what we're going to do. Okay, marketing operations, now you go build that, right? And I'm seeing that completely turned over now. I'm seeing as the central operating system or the nervous system, what needs to be built and how marketing needs to work really is coming from marketing ops, not coming from marketing, because AI is basically changing not only how work gets done, but kind of like the definition of marketing. So, what are you seeing in that vein?
Well, it links back to the question you just asked me a couple minutes ago. I think that's
Mm-hmm.
happening when MOPS is being more strategic and out front leading Deb. I think those groups are doing that. I think in that other situation we're talking about, no, that's not happening. But that's a bigger problem anyway, because the marketing department, the marketing leader is behind the eight ball. I don't think they're
They are. They are. They're so behind
strategic.
the eight ball.
Yeah. But I also think, it's through the pandemic, we finally saw marketing realize it had too much tech and started cutting down. But that was also predominantly a budget-based, bloated reaction
Mhm,
decision. It wasn't
mhm,
necessarily strategic on how can we get tech to be more streamlined and work for us.
mhm.
So another role I think MOP's playing now is, okay, well, if we don't have to log into these apps anymore, do I need to license the apps in the same way? Because then we're going to be moving back towards a consumption model. And the moats that these vendors have established are going to change and go away.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
do I need Salesforce, or do I need the essence of what Salesforce can do? Right? Do I need HubSpot, or do I need, pick an app? Do I need Tableau when I can go into Claude and visualize my dashboard right now? I don't
Mhm.
have to build anything. I just have to tell it what data I want.
Yeah, and
So
you're describing what marketing ops should be, and that is strategic to the marketing and strategic to the organization as well. It's their understanding of technology and where it's going and what is possible that they need to bring to the table to then bring that change to the organization so that they can be more successful. So I think that is a really great example of that.
And they could say, "Hey, look, guys, we're spending $5 million a year on software. I think we can get
Mhm.
it down to $1 million. because we don't need some of these things, or we don't need all these extra users. We don't need all these extra people.
Or they could say, we're spending $1 million. Let me show you how we can make 10 million on that.
Yes,
right?
that would be an excellent.
So they could be on the growth side, not just, let's save a bunch of money side.
I think, I mean, look, operations is such an important word, but I also think people can think about operations as that, okay, it's only about process and details and nitty gritty. Operations can be so much more strategically related to the go-to-market function.
In a world of change, absolutely. And we're in a world of change. Every day you come to work, every day that you come to work, you could be doing something completely different from the way you did it the day before. I mean, that is absolutely positively a true statement. There's not even enough time to think about all the changes, that you could make. And so if you think about marketing ops being that, waving that banner of change, because they should be seeing the possibilities with this technology, that puts them in a very strategic position within the organization. And yet we don't often see marketing ops, stand up to that banner. We see them more often, being reactive. So in a long story short, this is a great opportunity for MarOps to stand up and take a true leadership position in changing how marketing functions and the value that marketing creates in the organization through some of those examples that you just shared.
Yeah, and I think it's just also the opportunity to be more data driven and provide more insight.
No. Let me tell you my sensitivity to be more data driven.
Okay.
We're drowning in fucking data, Jeff. Right? And AI is making us drown even more. So to be more data driven, but with clarity, right?
Okay. Fair.
And I think that marketing ops is going to have to be, especially the leaders, are going to have more judgment around, not the nitty gritty of the data itself, but how that data gets used and how that data gets.
I think where I was going.
But when we use old terms like that, so we got to think of a different term, then we'll become more data driven.
Insight driven, clarity driven.
Clarity. Yeah.
Where I was going with it though is today, a lot of the reports that MarOps produces are reactive to a request. The CMO asks for something.
Yeah, but we should have always on real-time reporting, because that's the world, that we live in. You shouldn't do something and then here's the report on it.
I know,
right?
but that's what I'm saying. I think this is an opportunity to change the role where MarOps now, instead of being told to do something and producing something, MarOps can be out in front of this, asking more insightful questions, thinking, running simulations, models, and figuring out what the best recommendation for the organization is. That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
How you use this data.
Agree with that. Because we should be in a world where it's just completely always on performance and adjustment and improvement. It should just be. It is part of the central nervous system. Is that whatever you're doing, it's not like this big campaign and we get it out and then 30 days later we no, it's every fucking interaction that a client has with you in the digital world. It's being analyzed and things are being tweaked and performance is being elevated, right? And so when we have data like that, that is not necessarily becoming more, well, it is becoming more data driven, but it's data driven. It's got to have a different kind of context. So you see what I'm saying?
No, I do. And I think, I mean, here's where I think the great breakthroughs too are too. Like, so you and I have even discovered, like, over the last year, we've been working together for 20 years, how well we can use AI to mediate between us when we're trying to discuss something and get to consensus. And so we've been able to we both talk to the AI, and then it comes back to us and says, all right, Debbie, I have your point of view. Jeff, I have your point of view. Here's the middle ground. And we're both like, well, shit. Yeah. Okay, perfect. Let's go. So, but today in MarOps and in teams, you still have that standard human dynamic. Okay, I got to work with this person. I have to work with that person. I have to explain. I have to get a meeting. I have to do this. I have to read their documentation. Well, with what we're seeing now with AI and skills from Claude and ChatGPT, like you build one skill, save it, it finds all the other skills that have been fucking created, and they just start
Yeah,
talking to each other.
yeah,
And then
yeah.
within a day, you've got this factorial effect where everything that you're contributing just gets that much smarter because it's taking all the stuff in, and the output just, it's like that flywheel.
That's
Right,
right.
that
That's
keeps
right.
things
That's
going
right.
up. So to
That's right.
me, MOPS can be setting up and building this flywheel to go bigger and faster than anyone ever imagined before. So it becomes not just a, well, we've never called MOPS a tactical function. We've always felt it as very strategic to the
Hmm.
organization, but this truly can break that gap, or bridge that gap.
Hmm. I believe that it truly can. And I mean, I just think that it's so exciting for the marketing organization right now. The things that can happen with AI, as long as we don't think that AI is just another piece of technology that we're tacking on. I think that everybody in marketing ops needs to understand that we're in an AI driven world. What does marketing operations in an AI driven world look like? And begin to think about what the future of that organization looks like. We've spent time talking about, new organization models in a world of AI. We're going to talk a lot more about leadership skills in this world of AI. And we definitely have spent a lot of time talking about the various marketing functions and what the role is in this world of AI. Marketing operations needs to do the same thing. Take that blank sheet of paper and say, given the world of AI, if I was building marketing operations from scratch right now, where would it sit? What would it do? What would be its accountability? What would be its best and highest use within the organization? And I do think that we're going to see, what was the comment that somebody said, that you can build $1 billion business with one person with AI? I
Yes.
think that's true.
Oh, it absolutely is true. And it actually did happen. There was a New York Times article on it. And
see,
yeah.
here we go. So we are only going to be held back by our fear and by our lack of imagination. That's really going to be the two
The only
things
thing
that
that
are
we
going to
have
hold
to
us
fear
back.
is fear itself. Was that Churchill or Roosevelt or one of them? So
Whatever.
that's true. I mean, I
Yeah.
think I was just having a conversation with an old colleague yesterday, and I'm like, I just feel like I'm in this creative renaissance period where the output I've been
Well,
able to.
yeah, Jeff. I mean, you're producing albums. You just published 2 books that just went out on Amazon, yesterday? What are the 2 books?
The Attic and the Algorithm and AI Agents Made Simple.
Okay. And what is the Attic and the Algorithm about?
That was a personal passion project, Deb. So
Uh-huh.
for 20 years, I always wondered how the world's great religions use marketing over time to recruit and serve its congregants. And so, that one I worked on for a long time. So I'm really
Yeah.
proud about that one.
I mean, just the creativity and the passion that's being inspired from AI to bring that kind of creativity and passion into this wonderful profession of marketing operations, and to not have any fear that, I'll lose my job, I'll, whatever. Although I know that fear is real for a lot of people. I mean, I can
Look,
believe that.
it's real and it's factual,
Mhm.
but it's like anything else. I mean, change is a constant. You have to roll with it,
Yeah.
Otherwise, you don't roll. What's the alternative? So we had this great conversation at CMO huddles in Seattle a couple weeks ago, and we were just talking about the 3 types of employees, not just for AI, but anything, but relative to
Mhm.
this. You got the first group. They're just going to run with it. They play at this on the night and weekend, not because you asked them to, and not because they have anything specifically.
Because they're curious,
They're
and
curious and
they're
they
curious.
love it and they're playing and
Yes.
go. Those are
Yes.
perfect. And then you have that middle group that just needs a little bit of a push, nudge, some
Mhm.
encouragement, maybe a little shove,
Mhm.
but give them the use cases and then they'll be fine. Okay, those are keepers. And then you have the third group, whether you want to call them laggards or detractors or whatever you want to call them. These are the ones that are like, no, I'm not going to do it. I don't want to. And those are the ones that are not going to have a job.
Yeah.
And especially for the Gen Zers out there, I definitely understand your passion.
Yeah.
Arguments about authenticity are real.
Mhm.
Arguments about what AI is doing to the environment also real. I validate everything that you're feeling. And at the same time, I got to tell you, but you guys have to learn how to embrace it. Bring your values, bring your norms, and help us change it.
That's
But
right.
don't ignore it
That's right.
because It's hard enough to get a job as it is. So you can be right and unemployed, or
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
or you can figure out how to.
Or you can jump in and be part of it. So,
Yes,
and everybody
be
should be a part of
the
it.
solution, not the problem.
And it also, and one of the threads that we always have in all of our conversations about AI is how we have to be more, I guess the word is humanistic, right? Because, you know, in a world of AI with the execution layer gone, the ability of leaders to apply judgment to how things are getting done and what is getting done and how this is affecting people becomes heightened, right? I was talking to a friend of mine who's about to publish his second book on leadership, and it really is about how to become a more authentic leader. And we've even talked about this in our conversations about organizational models, right? What is the role of a leader in this world of AI? It's very different from the role that we have today. So our people who are more technically focused,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? You know, they're just going to have to bring the wisdom and the judgment to this, because that is something that AI cannot do.
At least not yet, anyway.
I don't know. Hopefully, maybe we'll see. I don't know. Again, if you
We'll be
guys
back here in a
listen,
year, like, you know,
yeah,
remember when we said that AI couldn't do
yeah, I
judgment?
forget that.
Oh, we're
Yeah,
wrong.
yeah,
But yeah, for now, look, it's a wide blue ocean out there. Go for it, grab it. You
I
know,
agree.
I think the opportunities for marketing have never been greater, Deb. For those that seize it, we talk a lot about marketing leaders needing to be bold. Yeah, and this is one of those times. You know, like go grab it and go. Let's go.
You know, I was a commodities broker in my first life, and I could tell you lots of stories. Would have to be in a bar, 2 martinis in, for me to tell you all the stories. But swear, I had a commodities broker that worked with me, and he used the expression "grab it and growl" whenever he wanted to do a trade with somebody. And they would get down on their knees and they would pray over the trade, and then they would grab it and growl and they would go trade. So the moral of the story is grab it and growl, because the future is right here in front of your face, and you're gonna be a part of it or not. But if you want to be in marketing ops, these kinds of conversations are what you need to be having, and these are the kind of conversations and the thoughts that you need to be thinking about as you create your career.
Amen. Until next
Amen,
week.
brother.
All right. Thanks all, and we'll keep it raw.
All right. See you guys next time.
Bye.